Sandra, a mother from Argentina, was eagerly anticipating the arrival of her fifth child with her partner, Martin. After having 4 children, the couple was overjoyed to learn they were expecting a baby girl, whom they had already named Emilia. Their excitement was palpable, and they were hopeful for a smooth pregnancy. However, at just 26 weeks, Sandra began experiencing unexpected contractions. Fearing the worst, she and Martin rushed to the nearest hospital in northeastern Argentina, praying for their baby's safety. On April 8, 2017, Emilia was born prematurely, almost 3 months before her due date. She weighed only 1.5 kilograms and appeared lifeless. The delivery room fell silent as doctors quickly sprang into action, attempting to resuscitate the tiny baby. A neonatologist was called in, but despite their best efforts, they could not detect any signs of life. No heartbeat, no breathing. Devastated, the doctors declared Emilia stillborn, issued a death certificate, and gently wrapped her fragile body in cloth before placing her in a small wooden coffin. Sandra, still under anesthesia from the emergency birth, awoke to the heart-wrenching news that her daughter had not survived. Overcome with grief and disbelief, she struggled to accept the reality. Sandra felt an overwhelming urge to see Emilia with her own eyes, to confirm the unthinkable. She wanted to hold her daughter, even if just for a moment, and take a photograph of the funeral service. After convincing Martin and her brother of her need for closure, they received permission from the hospital staff to visit the morgue. More than 12 hours had passed since Emilia's birth when Sandra, Martin, and her brother made their way down the cold, sterile hallways of the hospital toward the morgue. Sandra, still physically weak from the delivery, was emotionally preparing herself for what she believed would be the hardest moment of her life. No parent should ever have to face the unbearable pain of losing a child. When they reached Emilia's tiny coffin, Sandra's hands trembled as she gently touched her daughter's small, cold hand. As Sandra leaned over the wooden box and tenderly pulled back the fabric covering Emilia's face, something incredible happened. She suddenly heard a faint, almost imperceptible cry. Sandra froze, her heart pounding in disbelief. She stared down and saw Emilia's eyes flutter open, sparkling with life. For a moment, Sandra thought it was a cruel trick of her imagination. But then Emilia let out another soft whimper. Sandra gasped, stumbling back in shock, unable to comprehend what she was witnessing. Martin was equally stunned, standing frozen as the realization set in. It was Sandra's brother who reacted first, quickly scooping Emilia up and sprinting to the neonatal ward. The medical staff, initially skeptical, were shocked when they confirmed that the baby was indeed alive. They immediately rushed Emilia to the intensive care unit, where she was placed in an incubator to stabilize her temperature, given oxygen, and carefully monitored. The doctors worked tirelessly to warm her small body and provide the necessary nutrition, while also conducting tests to assess any potential damage from her time in the morgue. The hospital launched an investigation to understand how such a grave mistake had occurred. Yet, the focus remained on Emilia's recovery. Remarkably, despite the odds stacked against her, Emilia's condition began to improve. After a few critical days in the ICU, her vital signs stabilized, and the decision was made to transfer her to a specialized hospital in Buenos Aires, where advanced neonatal care was available. Although Emilia faced some complications, including a minor lung hemorrhage, the doctors managed to treat her successfully without causing lasting damage. Over the next several weeks, Emilia's health continued to improve. She gained weight, her breathing became more stable, and she even began drinking breast milk from Sandra, a milestone that filled her mother with hope. The medical team was amazed by Emilia's resilience and strength. After several months of intensive care, therapy, and endless love from her mother, Emilia was finally strong enough to return home. Sandra held her daughter close, overwhelmed with gratitude for the miracle she had been given. Although Emilia still faced some health challenges, her progress was nothing short of extraordinary. Sandra often said, "She's our miracle, and her strength has taught us to never give up." Emilia's journey from the brink of death to a thriving child was a testament to the power of love, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between a mother and her daughter.